Good morning. Dr. Simka here again with a video about sitting and how damaging it is. Now, I did a video yesterday about standing at a standing desk and what you could do to sort of help your brain function better when you're standing. The kind of exercises. It's similar to the type of things that you're going to do if you were forced to sit. Some people have no choice, they have to sit. And I'm going to talk later about driving, what you could do while you're driving to help your brainstem function normally. So we know that the brainstem is all about running the core, and once the core is not activated, the brainstem shuts down, which then leads to increased blood pressure, increased heart rate, lousy digestion, lousy sleep, all that type of stuff. So what I want to do is just sort of touch upon the sitting piece of this whole puzzle, or this whole problem. So if you are forced to sit, what you need to do is you need to take active measures to counteract that, because we know, according to research, that even if you're doing intense workouts 3 to 5 times a week, it doesn't counteract the effects of long periods of sitting. And we sit way too long. So I'm just going to give some simple little directions on how to function and how to sort of counteract the periods of sitting. So we know through research that the brainstem, and particularly the part called the PMRF, and you've just seen my other videos, you know what that is, the pontomedullary reticular formation, which is found in the brainstem, which is responsible for all the sort of calming kinds of activities that go on in our bodies, from good blood pressure, good heart rate, good digestion, all that kind of stuff. So in order for, what happens is when we sit, when we're still for 20 minutes, the brain takes away energy from that part of itself, from the PMRF, and puts it other places. So the PMRF sort of turns off. So that means that your core strength and your core muscles are not working. So what we have to do is keep reminding our brain that we are awake and we're actually doing things, and we need to keep it turned on. So what I recommend is no more than sitting for 20 minutes at a time, but building up your endurance. You probably want to do this kind of routine almost every 5 to 10 minutes. Now, the point here is that you just have to remind the brain that you are awake, essentially, that you're not sleeping or stationary. So one of the things to do is you want to engage the core. So you engage the core of your body, you actually turn your brain on, because the brain has to say, oh, I have to do something. So simply, if this is all you can do, the simplest thing you could do is put a timer on, 5 minutes. If you're on the computer, this is not obviously driving, that's later. But if you're on the computer and you're not talking to someone and you're writing whatever, see if you can just stand up and bend over 3 times, and then sit down and go back. Now, when you first start doing this, every 5 minutes is advisable, but eventually you can do it every 20 minutes. But right now we have to sort of exercise that brain. So when you stand up, bend over, it's like, just like that. You're exercising your brain. You're giving it energy. You're making it awake, making it more alive. It actually will make other things work better. It'll make your thinking work better, because it'll allow your higher brain to sort of forget about the core and forget about these other things, so that you can function better. That's the simplest thing you can do when you want to break up the sitting. Now, there are more things you could do. You could just stand up and you can walk in place, because the core turns on when you walk, right? The other thing you do is you could twist, because the core turns on when you twist. Now, there are other things that you can do, because a lot of times when you're on the computer, we get a lot of pain if you're righty in this side because of the mouse, or here. Simple a neck exercise, a neck stretch. So you're on the computer 20 minutes, whatever. You stand up, turn the brain on, and then you do just a little this, a little that, a little that, a little that, and then go back. So the point here is that you have to take control of how your body works. So if you're ignoring your body and just plowing through work and ignoring the fact that you're sitting so long, it's going to have bad effects for you in the future. And that research shows. But if you take time and realize that your body has to move in order for your brain to function normally, you just have to move it. And it doesn't have to be complicated. So, in other words, if you were to say, okay, I'm going to sit here 8 hours and just study, but I work out an hour a day or whatever, that should compensate. Well, we know that doesn't compensate for it. So what you have to do is interact movement in your day-to-day life. It has to be a part of you in order for your brain to function normally. So with that, have a great day. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is Dr. Greg, changing the way you look at health.